What's up, Star Wars fans? My name is Prince, and I'm an urban acolyte. The new footage from the Rise of Skywalker shown on that trailer at D23 had everyone talking when they saw a dark side version of Rey with one of those nunchuck lightsaber hilts that folded out into a lightsaber pike, like the ones carried by the Jedi Temple Guardians and the fallen Jedi Master Pong Krell. Well, since seeing that image, people have been trying to guess about what's going on in the image. Is Rey going over to the dark side? Is there a dark side clone of Rey? Is it a force vision of Rey if she were to fall to the dark side? Well, a writer at Star Wars website may have spilled the beans, but there's actually a pretty huge rumor going around that totally explains that scene. And if that rumor turns out to be true, it's going to be a really huge spoiler. So if you don't want anything spoiled for Star Wars Episode 9, you should probably not watch this video. Okay, if you haven't heard about the post on Star Wars website that spoiled the dark side Rey scene, someone wrote that it's a vision. Now, if you haven't been following Jason Ward at Making Star Wars, Jedi Praxis on Reddit, or Bespin Bulletin, then you may not have heard any of this stuff that I'm about to tell you. But Making Star Wars has a pretty extensive track record of reporting rumors for Star Wars movies that turn out to be true with a high degree of accuracy. Now, the last few days, the people who run those sites have been going back and forth comparing their rumors, and they've basically been finding that they've been hearing the same information. If none of that stuff turns out to be true, well, then maybe there's someone that's leaking a bunch of false information. But I mean, it's kind of strange that you have 3 different sources and they're reporting basically the same stuff since last year. And a lot of it so far is turning out to be true. So to get to the details on Rey's vision, why did she have this vision of herself falling to the dark side? Well, this is actually something that Rey sees when she touches an artifact. Most likely a Sith artifact, and it actually takes her to wherever we believe that Palpatine is located. Let's go back to some information that I can't remember if I ever reported in a video, or maybe I did, I don't remember. But this story, although it involves the war between the First Order and the Resistance, it's going to turn into like this Indiana Jones type adventure with the war as the backdrop that sets the stage for the reason for the adventure. Now, Kylo Ren and the Knights of Ren are competing against Rey, Finn, and Poe to locate this item of power, which is something that got introduced in the Darth Vader comic book run that picked up after The Revenge of the Sith by Charles Soule. Now, both sides believe that this item of power will be the key to them winning the war, but it looks like it's going to actually be the thing that frees Palpatine and the Sith fleet from wherever he's been in the unknown regions of space. So we have this race between Rey, Finn, and Poe, and then Kylo Ren with the Knights of Ren to locate this item of power using something called a wayfinder device. Now, here's where things get really interesting, because Kylo Ren is using Darth Vader's wayfinder device, but Rey is going to use Palpatine's wayfinder device. And since this is going to involve the search for an item of power that appears to be connected to the Sith, well, there will be a new scheme where Palpatine tells Kylo Ren that he wants to turn Rey to the dark side so that they can rule the galaxy together as his heirs, the grandson of Vader, and well, maybe Rey has some connection to Palpatine. I mean, she might be his granddaughter. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. So right now, this is what it looks like. Rey finds this artifact that will eventually lead her to Palpatine. And when she has this vision, she wakes up Palpatine and he becomes interested in her. Kylo Ren, seeking more power, makes a pact with Palpatine to bring Rey to him so that she can be turned to the dark side. And I mean, this is starting to sound a lot like it's setting up the throne room scene on the Death Star in Return of the Jedi with Luke, Vader, and Palpatine. I mean, it's that whole thing all over again. Now, there's a lot more about this rumor. I mean, if this stuff turns out to be true, I may have spoiled the entire movie. But at this point, I'm more interested in discussing everything after the movie is out. So, I mean, maybe I can go back and compare these rumors to the final cut once the movie actually is out in December. But this gets into Rey's parents and possibly how she ended up on Jakku. The stuff with Rey's parents is too much for just one video, so I have to post another one about her parents and how they could be connected with these Wayfinder devices. And it also explains C-3PO's red eyes. Like basically, this thing with Palpatine is going to take over the entire movie, which makes me feel even more confident that we will be dealing with the war between the First Order and the Resistance for possibly the next decade of Star Wars movies and stories. But anyway, hey, that's all I'm going to say for this video. But what do you guys think about this dark side vision and it being tied to some plot to actually turn Rey to the dark side of the Force? Look, let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be checking back to see what you all have to say. And if you haven't subscribed already, look, go ahead and click that subscribe button so that you can take your first steps towards becoming an urban acolyte. Embark on the journey to become the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Look, you can continue to support the channel, and you can do that by checking out some of the top theories for Star Wars Episode 9, or you can also check out the video that YouTube has chosen just for you. But anyway, that's all I got for this video, so thanks for watching. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you, always.